All right, Happy New Year. Welcome to Doozer Shop. This is New Year's Day. I'm continuing work on the Giddings and Lewis horizontal boring mill. Last time, as you recall, I checked out the oil pump. The oil pump is working fine. What I'm doing now is checking the restrictors. This is a Doozer type lubrication system, and it has restrictors on the end points where the lubrication happens, where the lubricant would enter a bearing or the machine element, whatever it is. And they're notorious for clogging up. So if you buy an older used machine, never assume that these things are working. If your pump lever on your oiler, goes up and down and seems to meter out the oil, unless you see oil flowing, don't assume. So let's get into it. Go handheld here. All right, I've got a few things going on. I have some questions that I answered today. So this end fitting is easy. It's a 1/8 inch pipe thread street elbow, and here's the fitting, MSA 00. So I wrote that down. So if you look, where is it? MSA 00, okay? So that's what that dude is, and it's 1/8 inch pipe thread on the bottom, and it's compression on top. Note that they have an arrow. So that goes in there. I think that one's clogged. I don't know. It meters a little, but not much. So then it goes to, so 00 is your restrictor size, MSA is your model. You have like an external type compression fitting, flare fitting, I guess you'd call that, and then you have the internal type of compression fitting. So it's not a flare really, it's got that olive thing, the furl. If you guys, it's got furls on both the cords, so I don't know what the difference is. All I know is external and internal, but either way. So the thing that was confusing me is this middle one. So all I could see from the top, right, was just that. That's all I could see. But down in the casting was this restrictor fitting here. So this is, for documentation purposes, MTA 00. So it's 1/8 inch pipe thread both sides, and I wrote it down here in magic marker. This is just an 1/8 inch pipe thread nipple I use just to keep the dirt out. But if you can see, 1/8 inch pipe thread down in a bit of a well. So I couldn't see what was going on, but that's what was going on, is that Doozer fitting was down there. So don't miss that if you got a Giddings and Lewis boring mill like I do. All right, so that just keeps the dirt out. And it came out of the pump, it went into this T-fitting, which I just dropped, whatever. All right, we're trying to keep everything, kind of lined up. There's another well, and that was a big flow. There's your arrow. Come on, you silly guy. MTG3. MTG3. So I wrote that there, MTG3. All right. So yeah, that's MTG3. And there's one here. This is MSA 00. And there's 1/8 inch pipe thread to this external compression fitting, right? MSA 00, that goes there. So that's kind of fun with that. I'll kick my milk crate over, I can't stand on this thing. All right, this side, holy Chick-fil-A. I had to, that's the power feed spline. I had to take off the selector engagement thingy thing. Got this piece of wood holding it up. There is a hearth coupling, or just a face spline. It's not a hearth coupling, it's just a face spline. And it looks like a Timken bearing of some sort in there. And the 4 bolts just allowed it to release. One thing that was a huge pain in the nuts was this thing. All right, that went from there to there, right? And there was no freaking room. There ain't no room. And this thing I cracked open a little bit, but I think there's a bearing or something press fit on there. I don't know what's going on. But I got this off. What I'm gonna do, see how it's got 6 bolts? I'm gonna re-index this, I think, when I put it together. So there's the bolt there. I'm gonna put it like that, and then run it over with a longer piece, because there's no reason to have it so freaking tight with that little jibby jabby jubber there. I'm gonna buy some extra fitting pieces, I think, right? I'm gonna buy some tubing. I'm gonna buy some those little furls, those olives and male and female fittings. So anyways, so there's that one, and then there's one, it's still in there, I screwed it back in. There, right? So that joker, MTC5 is what I pulled out of there, and that one there is an MSA2, all right? And, you know, let me just, looks like MTC5. I don't know if it's MTC or MTG. MTC. I wrote MTC5. So that's what that one is. All right. So we'll put that there. Oh, and this one here, MTG5. They look the same. So why would that one be an MTC and this one be an MTG? It could be an MTC or MTG. I kind of wiped out with the fitting, with the wrench. I don't know. I think one's longer or shorter. I'm gonna get I think one is a scoot shorter, but I'm empty. So there you go. So MTG5. Okay, so recapping for my own reference. Well, it's on here anyway, so if you wanted to order some, MSA2 MTC5 there, MTG5 there, forgive the boringness, MTG3, MSA0, and I think I said these already. Can't see. MTA0 and MSA0. Oh, these are both 00. 00. Okay, that makes a difference. Alright guys, thanks for sticking with this explanation. I kind of did this to document what I was doing here for my own self. This thing will not run in high gear wired for 440. I got to wire it back down for 220. It just kind of goes to A speed and stops. But anyways, that's what I'm doing. I got that whole thing taken up, and that was easy, just the 4 bolts. Like I said, I don't know how this comes off. I can rotate it, but I can't lift it off. See, these are artist palette knives, and they're tapered, right? And you can hammer them in and use them as wedges. If you got just a crack you can hammer them in and double them up and try to get some movement. I had 4 of these in there doubled up, and I couldn't get that top more than just a little bit. But anyhow, whatever. What I think I'm gonna do is probably just look up, the website's like Bijur Dandelion or something, Demalion, I don't know. But Bijur's still in business. And the last time I bought some was for my Harding HLVH. There were some number 0s and number 1s. I forget the numbers. But they were like $13 a piece, and if you divide that out with the shipping and the tax, it ends up being $18 a piece. So I'll probably end up spending 120 bucks to get all these new fittings, and then I'll get some new tubing and furls and compression caps or whatever I need. Because 2 of those number 5s, one's flowing extremely well, and the other one is just a little bit. So I assume one's clogged. I've been soaking them in lacquer thinner, forcing compressed air. I made some fittings up, put like 40-50 psi air in the proper direction and back the other direction to try and back flush it. Tried it at least 20 times on this one. Go back, forth, back, forth, back, forth, dip it, lacquer thinner, back, forth. Sometimes it would flow really good, and then it would clog again. So there's something in there that's floating around in the one I had. So I'm kind of happy I did this. Those double 0s, they're going to clog the easiest. I've almost thought there's like 1, 2, 3 double 0s, and the rest are 3, 5, 3, 5. I've thought about just taking and eliminating the double 0s and just put a nice heavy-duty flip-top oil cap on them. Because I think they might get just clogged up with schmug again anyways. But, you know, this machine is made in 1942, I believe. It's like 70 years old. But, I don't know. Maybe I'll just get all new fittings. A friend of mine, he had a couple on his mill, Bridgeport mill or whatever he had, and he took them apart and cleaned them, and he told me there was like 12 pieces. I've taken them one apart on the Harding, and I said, you know what? My eyesight, and my dexterity, it's just not good enough. I don't know how people work on watches. It's not my thing, that micro deal. So I'll gladly pay 120 bucks and not fiddle around with all this. But anyhow, end of my rant. Hope you guys with a Giddings Lewis mill have find this useful. So anyhow, see you next time. Doozer Shop.